I'm Stacy Krober. I was Andrew's case manager when he was in home-based services here at NECC. Andrew had very limited skills. It kind of broke my heart to know that there were doctors and therapists at his diagnosis with a pretty bleak outcome predicted. They had heard at one point when he was diagnosed that he might never speak. Clearly, that is not what happened. We got to the point where he was matching, he was sorting, he was identifying actions, he was imitating. It's just amazing to me to see that this child who wasn't speaking and wasn't sharing his experiences with others, that's what he wants to do for his career. And the fact that he's already been so successful at his age, I just know that he'll go as far as he wants to with it. To see him being recognized at NECC, which was really the first step to all of the success that he's getting, I'm just so happy for him. I really am. Congratulations, Andrew. I couldn't be more proud of you, and no one deserves it more, kiddo.
Congratulations, Andrew. Andrew Roberts.
I'm so honored to receive this award, and I don't think I'd be where I am today without the help of NECC, especially my case manager and BCBA teacher who's here tonight, Stacy Krober. When I was a toddler, my parents had trouble transitioning me to solid food. Around the same time, my grandma watched an autism awareness show on TV, and she saw the story of a young boy with autism who shared several traits with me. Those traits, as well as my issues with food, helped my family connect the dots as they began to suspect that I was on the autism spectrum. I started working with a speech and feeding therapist. After several months, she told my parents that I may never speak. Soon after, I was diagnosed with autism, just before turning 2. My parents felt helpless, as they had more questions than answers, until they found NECC. I was enrolled in the home-based program at NECC in hopes I could overcome some of my challenges and learn to talk. I made fast progress, and by the time I was 3, not only was I talking, I was reading. My parents noted that one of the first times I did pretend play was with my grandma, sitting at my homeschool table. I pretended to be her NECC teacher, and I would say, "Do this." And when she did, I'd say, "Good job," and give her a reward. So as you can see, NECC was a pivotal part of my life. NECC worked for me because everyone was all in. My mom gave up her career to stay home with me, and every time I was on a break, she would spend time with Stacy to learn about what she was doing. Both of my parents took ABA parent training at night that was provided by NECC at the school. On weekends, I often spent extra hours with NECC teachers to play games, work on feeding, and work on reciprocal conversations. Many of my family members also joined autism support groups offered by NECC and other community organizations like the Autism Alliance of Metro West. NECC was a part of my family, and I remember how excited I was to be a part of the annual Walk for Autism. Stacy would join us for the walk, and rain or shine, it was always a fun day. I've maintained a close relationship with Stacy over the years. Even after leaving NECC, she served as my respite teacher. So even today, I still spend time with Stacy and her family. NECC helped give me the foundational skills I needed to enter preschool with my peers. I'm still on an IEP. Over the years, I've faced many challenges of being autistic. Those social skills, flexibility, common life skills, and finding things to eat don't come easy for most people. They have not come easy for me. However, I continue to make progress. While I'm beginning to overcome some of my challenges, I also work hard to embrace my strengths and my diagnosis as a whole. Since I was about 5, I've been obsessed with sports and weather. Thanks to living in New England, my obsessions of sports and weather have helped me relate to others and gave me plenty to talk about. Once I learned to write, you could often find me with a pen, markers, and paper. I would make weather maps and write tons of things about sports and weather. There were always tons of papers all over the house with things I wrote or drew. By the time I was 10, my mom decided to take a book out of the library about starting a blog so that all the papers could go digital. A lot of people love sports, especially Bostonians, so I decided to blog about Boston sports. About 6 years ago, I created a blog called Boston Sports Mania. Today, not only have I written hundreds of posts and gained hundreds of followers, I've gained valuable sportscasting experiences. I've been really lucky to have a lot of support from family and friends who have connected me with professionals in the sports industry. My parents were often told that my obsessions were a bad thing. Looking back now, seeing the messes I made, I can understand why. Almost 14 years later, I'm a sophomore at a public high school with straight A's. I'm a strong writer who turned my obsessions of reading and writing about sports into a passion for sports journalism. Today, I stand here as an NECC Alumnus of the Year, a Flutie Fellow, a football color commentator for Northborough Cable TV, a researcher and announcer for 98.5 The Sports Hub, and a writer for my school newspaper. I now have real experience in professional sports journalism. All of my experiences started with the foundational skills my NECC teachers helped me unlock and build upon. I hope to be able to continue to succeed, whether it be as a sportscaster or in another role, as I refuse to let my challenges define who I am. I'm a budding sports journalist who just happens to be autistic. Thank you.
Congratulations, Andrew.